another episode of Throwing It Back with Sean Farrell. I am Sean Farrell. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. Jesus Christ died and he rose again. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay. So, first thing, there's been a lot of talk about the dunk contest and how whack it was. Okay, and Gilbert Arenas decided to get in on the dunk contest, the discussion about the dunk contest, and he said that Michael Jordan ruined the dunk contest. Okay, that's what Gilbert Arenas said. Gilbert Arenas said that Michael Jordan ruined the dunk contest. Okay, and this is the same Gilbert Arenas who said that he wanted to be a international pimp. Okay, this is the same guy who said he wanted to be an international pimp when people interviewed him on draft day 2001. Okay. Yeah. This is the same guy who told potential general managers who were potentially going to draft him he wanted to be a international pimp. Okay. Anyway, so he said Michael Jordan ruined the dunk contest. Okay. And I saw this on a basketball network. Okay. If this thing will, there it goes. Okay. Okay. So, Agent Zero shifted his focus to Michael Jordan, suggesting that the five-time MVP set the bar so high, okay, that current superstars are unfairly compared, criticized, and often judged harshly for not meeting the same standard. And Gilbert Arenas explained why he thought Michael Jordan ruined the dunk contest, okay? He says, look, everything is not LeBron's fault, okay? LeBron didn't ruin the dunk contest 15 years ago, okay? The dunk contest was ruined in 1988, okay? 1988. His name was MJ. The God, the GOAT. What type of greatness entered the dunk contest? It put the dunk contest standard at an all-time high level. He was already scoring champ, three-time All-Star, three-time All-NBA runner-up to the MVP. Ended up winning MVP that year, All-Star MVP, dunk champ. I think he entered the three-point contest that year. No, he did not. He didn't enter the three-point contest in 1988. He entered the three-point contest in 1990 in Miami. Okay. He did everything. That was the year he swept. We haven't had those people since. Okay. Gail also pointed out while the media often praises stars like Kobe Bryant, Vince Carter for entering the dunk contest, they did so early in their careers. Once they became established all NBA players and MVP candidates, they no longer participated. That context in Arenas' view is often ignored. Kobe wasn't Kobe when they entered the dunk contest. Vince Carter wasn't Vince Carter. That year, that was his first year as an all-star. Arenas added, it's always been a one-time all-star or a bunch of names. Outside of that, what really ruined the dunk contest is voting on dunks, which happened in the 1988 All-Star. So that's what Gilbert Arenas thinks. Okay. And they also did a poll. Okay. Basketball Network also did a poll of who they thought ruined the dunk contest. Okay. Okay. So the poll question asked, who's more responsible for the decline of the dunk contest? Michael Jordan's high standards, LeBron's non-participation, or a change in media and fan expectations, okay? So 14% said Michael Jordan's high standards, 60% says LeBron James's non-participation, and 25% says change in media and fan expectations, okay? So the question is, who do you all think is responsible for the decline of the dunk contest? It's not Michael Jordan. I can tell you that. It's not Michael Jordan, because even after Michael stopped participating in the dunk contest after the 1988 contest, okay, the dunk contest was still pretty damn good, okay? It was still pretty good. Kenny Walker was pretty good. I know Dominique won it in 1990. Sean Kemp and D.E. Brown. Man, that was good. Man, that was good. That was a good finals. Sean Kemp versus D.E. Brown, okay? 1992, Sabalos goes blindfold, okay? I think Harold Miner was pretty good, okay? The dunk contest was still in its heyday, okay? The dunk contest was still in its heyday and would be in its heyday for several more years to come, okay? Harold Miner was pretty good. Isaiah Ryder goes between the legs, okay? Although I do think Sean Kemp was robbed a few times. Okay. I think Sean Kemp should have won at least once, okay? But you remember when Brent Berry took off from the foul line, okay? And said his Antonio, yeah. Kobe Bryant, as young as he was, became the youngest player to win the dunk contest, okay? Vince Carter, you remember Vince Carter going like, it's over, it's over. Desmond Mason, see, that was 2001 where Desmond Mason won it, okay? Then I believe it was Jason Richardson who went back to back 2002, 2003. I believe it was Fred Jones who won it in 2004. Okay, Fred Jones who won it in 2004 of the Indiana Pacers. Yeah. So, and after that, slowly but surely, the dunk contest very slowly began to trail off. Okay, I think after 2004, the dunk contest very slowly began to trail off. And but as far as who is responsible for the decline of the dunk contest, I'm not sure about that, but I know for sure it's not Michael Jordan. Okay, because the dunk contest was still in its heyday, even after Jordan stopped competing. Okay, so who do you all think is responsible for the decline of the dunk contest? Okay. The New York Knicks, okay? The New York Knicks were up 2-0 on the Chicago Bulls in 1993. Bulls came back, tied the series at 2. And in Game 5 of the 1993 Eastern Conference Finals, B.J. Armstrong hit a clutch 3 to put the Bulls up by 1, 95-94. Okay? And that's the infamous Charles Smith. That's the infamous Charles Smith. The famous Marv Albert call, Smith, strip, stop, Smith, strip, stop, strip, stop. I can't say it like Marv Albert, okay? I can't say it like Marv Albert. Anyway, so Charles Smith got stopped at the basket. like 4 or 5 times, okay? And BJ Armstrong, who not only hit the clutch three on the Bulls' last offensive possession, also scored the layup at the final buzzer. And the Bulls won that game 97-94. Okay. So, and of course the Bulls close out the Knicks in Chicago Stadium. Okay. So let's fast forward to 1994. Okay. Jordan's out of the game. Knicks go up 2-0. The Bulls blew a couple of big leads that could have put them up 2-0 on the Knicks. People forget the Bulls blew a couple of big leads in games 1 and 2. That could have put them up 2-0 on the Knicks. Okay. And could have led to a possible sweep. Okay. But things have happened, right? The things happened, right? And I'm probably going to say what everybody thinks, what everybody was thinking at that time. If Michael Jordan was there, the Bulls do not blow those big leads. I'm just saying. That's what everybody would have said. Well, if Michael Jordan was here, the Bulls never would have blown that big lead in game 1. Okay? Anyway. So the Knicks go up 2-0. Bulls tie the series at 2-2. Okay? And they come back to Madison Square Garden for the pivotal game 5, right? Okay? And the Bulls seem to have a slight advantage because you got to remember, Ron Harper. I said Ron Harper. Derek Harper was thrown out and suspended for games 4 and 5 because of his fight with JoJo English in game 4. Oh, no, game 3. Game 3, yeah. He was just thrown out and suspended for games 4 and 5, okay? So it looked like the Bulls had a slight advantage, okay? Okay. So down the stretch of game 5, the parallels were nearly impossible to ignore even without Jordan in the picture. Just like in 1993, the Knicks were terrible at the line, hitting just 15 of 25 at the foul line, okay? Just like 1993, the Knicks were terrible at the line, hitting just 15 of 25 from the foul line, okay? And just like a year before, you remember I just said BJ Armstrong hit a clutch three-pointer to give the Bulls the lead, okay? Well, in 1994, Game 5 at Madison Square Garden, okay? BJ Armstrong hit a 15-footer to give the Bulls an 86-85 lead, okay? So it was looking like the same scenario from 1993 was playing out, okay? The Bulls were really about to go up 3-2 with a chance to close it out at Chicago Stadium without Michael Jordan, okay? So, and that's when the famous Hugh Hollins call took place. That's when the famous Hugh Hollins call took place, and that was one of the most terrible calls. I still, to this day, believe that was one of the most terrible calls in the history of the NBA. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, so Hugh Hollins made that call. That was one of the most terrible calls in the history of the NBA. Okay. Bad call. So Hugh Hollins stood by his call, okay? But one of the other referees in the game, Daryl Harrison, who also reffed that contest and served as the NBA's officiating chief in those years, deemed Hollins' foul call to be terrible months after the game. So even Hugh Hollins' fellow referee said, that was terrible. Pippen never fouled Hubert Davis on that jump shot, okay? Pippen never fouled Hubert Davis on that jump shot. And it's kind of one of those what-if things, okay? It's really kind of one of those what-if things. what if Hugh Hollins did not call that foul? Okay? It's one of the great things about sports. We reminisce, we look back and say, well, what if? Okay? What if? What if? Okay? Yeah, but, man, the Bulls were, 94 Bulls were this close to getting back to the Eastern Conference Finals without Michael Jordan. Okay? And I believe they would have beat the Indiana Pacers. Okay? I believe that. If they beat the Knicks in Game 5, they close it out at the stadium in Game 6, and they beat the Pacers in the Conference Finals to get back to the NBA Finals, then we would have had the Bulls-Rockets Finals without Michael Jordan. Yeah, so, but some things in life are just not meant to be. Some things in life, they're just not meant to be. That includes sports, too. Okay. So, NBA bloopers. Okay. So, NBA bloopers have always been a part of NBA basketball. Okay, and so I was just watching a video called NBA Rewind, the funniest and finest plays, and some of the this video had everything. I can't begin to tell you the number of times I watched this video when I was a kid. Okay, but here's just a little bit of clip of some of the funniest bloopers. This was in 1994. Okay.
Bulls may appear to be in the way. I do hope you're taking notes on this, Ahmad. Hustle. Uses balance on the dribble drive. Swung it to the mouth. You are paying attention, Ahmad. Thank goodness you are clear. Up the middle, stumbles. Starks, falls down. He covers, safe. That's the worst trip down the floor I've ever seen. Rivers is going to try, and he goes. Wanted to jam it, no good. He wanted to jam it, no But you know, no matter how tough the action gets, you still have to love this game. Up we go into the wild blue yonder.
Yeah. I think the funniest one was when Harold Miner got hung. I think the funniest one is when Harold Miner got hung in Chicago Stadium. And then you saw where Mark Nahaken missed a breakaway layup and then missed a breakaway layup again. I think out of all those bloopers, I think the funniest one again was when Harold Miner got hung in Chicago Stadium. Yeah. All right. That's it. And that's all for throw on it back with Sean Farrell. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace out, guys. God bless.